Puppy power!
Okay, guys, welcome back to Tales of the Unwanted. I'm literally never gonna say the full thing ever again. It's in the description, so
Yeah.
whatever. Yes. So last time the Unwanted managed to defeat very swiftly 6 hellhounds, but there were dozens and dozens of hellhounds coming out from the sides of the path. And that is literally where all will be done last time. But Onion was on fire with his battle axe, and Hendrik was fireproof. Emil decided to catapult Char, bursting out because
he loved it. He loved it. It reminded him of his ancestors.
Strong arms.
but then picked him back up and gently put him back down because Emil was a giant earth elemental. And yes, so that's where we are now. You notice that there's a lot fewer high elves in your army now that's going for it. All the hellhounds are taken care of.
Press F to pay respects.
The Knights of Fortune are still there. And
Great.
they
So they didn't lose any members then?
no. They're looking quite alright. There's
So
blood on
weak.
them.
So
Charles like,
we just hide him round
They've
the
had
back
worse.
so no one notices.
It's fine, really.
right, yeah, so after that, you can roughly estimate there's just over 100 high elves left, including the commander. So you get the order to carry on moving forward.
I'll pick up Char. So he can I can just carry him as I go, just hold him.
Caelan climbs up the side of Emil, touches Char, and
He
cure
could have just
wounds.
asked.
Yeah, but we carried on rolling. Cure wounds, so that is 4 plus spellcasting modifier.
Why don't we all just roll?
I know, does
Emil?
everyone
Yeah.
want to wait?
You're actually really slow, though.
I might just get off and walk.
They're really big strides.
Yeah.
It's okay.
You've gone up 8 points.
Ooh.
So
Thank you,
better than
Karen.
nothing.
Thank you.
So
I'm,
one of your cuts is healed up.
I'm having a Hamlet moment. I've taken out my pipe and started smoking it in depression.
I was going to say, if
It's
you
alright,
don't
you don't have to walk though.
do you have any potions at all?
Do I have any potions?
I do, but I'm kind of a
Yes.
massive rock.
Yes,
Yeah.
I've got 2 potions
Merged
and I got
with
some
you.
spells.
And stop being
So,
such a
you're
mopey and
right.
heal yourself.
Right, okay.
Can I pick up my daggers before we do anything
Alright,
else?
yeah, sorry, yeah, you
Yeah.
can, yeah.
Yes,
Sorry,
please.
because we rushed the end of that last one, yeah.
Yeah.
You managed to pick up your...
I do, yes.
So how are you picking them up?
I'm just walking over and grabbing them.
Oh, okay, and that's a point of necrotic damage because you went with your right hand.
Oh no!
So it's 1 point of damage.
That's how they get
again.
you.
So you're going to pick it up with your left hand?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just
Yeah.
going to tie my hand behind my back so I don't get tempted to use it.
Yeah, you never know, there might be a weapon out there you can use with your arm. You never know.
Ooh. really
Mm.
want to do.
If anybody sees a blade that looks necrotic, give it to me, please.
What does an necrotic
Right. Okay. So you're walking up to these large.
Or are they?
Hmm?
Or are you walking? Or are you just simply hitting
You
your
approach these massive doors, but it's not like stone, like blocks. It's like it is the side of the mountain is a door, and you are about 100 feet away from it, and you stop, and one of the higher soldiers says to the commander, we've made it. The doors then open, and in front,
Just give Char a vantage point at the top here.
in front there are a row of several gargoyles, but they don't seem hostile. They're just there standing, and beyond them, on either side of the doors, there's a dozen death knights, which
They sound friendly.
they are well armored knights, but you can't see any facial features or anything. They are like a demon creature, not of this world.
I'm picturing Gormagala armor right now.
And,
Something along those lines.
And
Char
the-
will nod to them. Oh.
and again, they are just there, just standing still. It's like if they are welcoming you in to the keep.
Don't imagine the
We
air.
put out tea and cake.
Everything will be fine.
Yeah. So, are you going to go across?
Can we have much choice?
So you guys now are at the head of.
Have I been thrown? Have I been thrown?
No,
Have I been thrown?
no.
Oh,
Again!
Like,
go on.
A
Hilarious.
little bit like.
We need some like animations of just things that are going on in Emil's head.
Yeah. What's Emil thinking about?
We,
Not so much food, he's kind of a rock person.
I'm going to lean to Aya,
throwing
not too close, and go, it's blatant, this is suspicious. But
Yeah.
can you see if there's any trap on our path
I
down?
can certainly look.
I don't want to walk and be like,
Investigation.
Just like,
Oh my god. I rolled a 1, so
Oh, dear.
All right,
I just look at you and go,
you now are quite taken back by this sight. You don't like the heat, you said before, did you? So is it when you were in?
Yeah, she couldn't handle
Yeah,
it last time.
you couldn't in the forge. You were quite.
yeah.
So you were really close to the lava now, because obviously the volcano is right in front of you. So you're just like, no, there's no traps. Sweat coming down
Well,
you at the
I-
moment.
I said I can't see anything, but
Mm.
I'm.
But you were sweating conkers, but Hendrik is like, and then all of a sudden, then you're
Let's go
like,
inside.
it's
Quick.
like the magic is gone, and you're like, whoa, and then just sweat's coming down. It was like,
It's
start
like coming,
sniffling then because you got a cold.
Yeah.
The temperature
it's like
difference.
coming from like the Arctic into the freaking desert.
Mm. Right.
Can I do my own investigation check, or can I?
That
or do-
was because
okay.
technically you were investigation.
useless.
Right. Can Char clamber down Emil?
If
Mhm.
you ask nicely, I can put you down. Oh my god.
Yeah, Emil is holding you. The whole
Yeah, I can put you. You can just ask.
Can you put me down, Emil, please?
He's just like, please. He's just like this. Really gently, like tries to brush out your little cape. And,
Okay.
oh.
I'll put my shoulder back. And I would like to cast invisibility on myself.
Okay.
Yes.
Would you like to take a roll for that, please, with your spellcasting modifier?
Spellcasting modifier. Oh. 16.
Yeah, you are now invisible to everyone.
Okay.
The gargoyles
Yeah,
and the death knights don't take any notice of the fact you're just little quiet tune on your dragger pipes and you start to phase out of sight. They don't really care.
Okay.
I'm donning my invisibility
Okay.
Fully.
Right, so you're like,
Everyone's there's gonna be 3 of us left.
We're out of here.
We're not coming back. That's it.
I wouldn't do that to you.
Oh.
I want to reach over to Hendrik, just touch him on the face. Kind of maybe like caress him. A little spider comes, and I grant him. What's it called?
Spider
Shield of
face.
faith.
Oh,
Shield of
okay.
spider
Shield,
face.
yeah, spider face.
It comes out.
right, okay, so
The
as
Spider-Man
you do this,
costume creeps all over him.
It like weaves one.
this spider comes off your
Baggy
hand,
one.
goes onto Hendrik's head,
Yeah.
comes down, goes on his goes underneath his clothes, and goes on his shoulder blade, and goes in, and it's like a tattoo on your shoulder blade. Then, so it's not
Cool.
physically there anymore. It's just like a magic spell that's bound to
Okay.
you.
That
As
is
I
the
do
easiest
it,
tattoo to get
I want to
ever.
look at. Yeah.
Well, she's
No
you can't. She's gone.
Yeah.
I'm glaring at her.
Yeah,
From
she
She
wasn't
knows.
looking that generous.
She knows it's a sister thing. It's like it's like a Highlander.
You just hear a faint growl.
She knows.
Okay, what does that do?
That gives them a +2 AC.
Ooh, 19.
Cool.
That's without your shield out. Okay,
Wait till he gets his jewels out.
Yeah.
Now, this is a child-friendly show.
really? Right, okay, so you've already been having sex while everybody's in the room anyway. Like.
Rocks with
Back in the
testicles.
round.
Tire left. You can garden.
Um,
Ish.
okay, so the two of you are invisible. You've just had this dark holy spell
Holy.
cast upon you, and the rest of us are just you a massive rock.
Yeah, I can see
Um,
everything. I'm like,
Yeah. You're like, oh, it's a volcano. And that's it. Are we heading in, or because you haven't said anything, you just turned invisible, and
Yeah.
two of you just turned
Yeah,
invisible.
I'm
So-
lurking. I'd like to
I'm
Okay.
sort of hanging.
look more
near
at
the back.
the entrance.
Mm.
Yeah.
So the commander looks at those remaining and nods his head, and he starts walking. Kaelan does actually reluctantly starts walking with him, counting his arrows, going shit. So everybody else walking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the other army start pushing you.
God.
So as we these
Swagger.
these gargoyles and death knights do not attack at all. They just let you pass through these huge doors, and there's a drawbridge. Again, it's a rocky
oh,
drawbridge.
good.
No,
I was gonna say, I was like, I don't think
yeah.
I can walk on.
But the drawbridge is underneath is just a moat of lava, so you really feel the heat of the
I
the
can bathe in
volcano.
it. I can be like,
Yeah, if we touch you, it's like ah!
burn damage.
And you come up to another set of doors. They're not as huge as the opening ones, but enough for yourself to get through with a little bit of room as well.
If it's made of rock, I can pass through it anyway.
Oh, yeah, you just phase through, but it's still huge anyway
It's just like a,
because of the things that are inside.
epic.
Yeah. Okay, so you enter then the throne room, and let me just see if I can switch this on. Come on, come on. I better do a sync on that. Come on, switch on.
there's lights, but not the.
Hey.
Oh,
There we
Oh,
go.
yeah,
hooray.
it's flashing now.
Okay, and you're in the throne room. This room is huge, and it's going up into a cone. So you're pretty much essentially almost in the center of the volcano, but the floor, it's solid, and it's warm, but it's not boiling hot. There are parts where there's no floor, and you can see the lava underneath you. To your right, as you're coming in, there is a doorway, and there's another doorway on your left-hand side on there. Right ahead, there are two thrones, which are made of bones of every kind of race possible, and beasts and everything. But there's no one sitting on the thrones. In front of you, however, though,
I'm home, boys.
on
Just turn around.
on horseback, not any horse. The horse's legs are fire. The mane and the tail are fire. It's a nightmare horse. And on the back is Gambion, the lord of the undead. And he's a devil-looking creature. He's like a tiefling, but he's got huge wings. And he's probably twice the size of a tiefling. He's 10, 11 foot tall. And next to him is his queen, which has got a snake body with 6 arms, each wielding swords, and a human-looking face with green hair, and that is his queen.
Oh, you picked a good one there.
You see around you over 200 skeletons darted around this huge throne room.
200.
200 skeletons. You also
That's not
see
a fight, guys.
coming in and out, phasing in and out through different furniture and everything, 4 wraiths.
You like them?
There are 10 hellhounds scattered around the area, mainly towards the thrones. You know this character quite well. There are 5 of the shadows just lurking in the dark areas. Yeah.
No.
There are 10 zombies in the area, which are high elf. You can tell that they died quite recently from the army, and they've brought them back.
I should have eaten them.
Yeah, such a waste.
And up in the air, you hear this high-pitched screech, and there's these 2 banshees just flying around above you.
I'm so glad I'm invisible right
That is not all.
Bro.
Oh, there's more.
There is more.
Yay. I'm so
Coming
excited.
out of this hole here, you see this little eye, and then you see a larger body and more eyes coming out, and then you see this one huge central eye with a mouth underneath, and it is a beholder. Char just made this. Googly eye.
I love him.
Find
Can we keep him? He could be Alfred.
You don't want to keep him.
Now you know what.
So each of the eyes of the beholder, you've heard stories of beholders. Each of the eye of the beholder has a different ray, and one of the rays is instant death.
Great.
But because we were playing 5th edition, that no longer exists. So you can see that one is kind of limp. So that's how we get around all
Rip
of
that off.
yeah. So you don't have to worry about that. But you can understand the how powerful that is if the 200 skeletons and everything else wasn't enough for you. So yeah.
I'm so glad I'm invisible.
Yeah, me too.
So we've now
We've entered this room, have we?
we have now
I'm
entered
so
the room.
inconspicuous.
Teleport
Um,
I know. They'll never see
Oh, not
me.
to say, yeah, we're in the middle of the room. Right in his face.
Elvira, come over back there. Oh yeah, you were huge.
I'm huge.
You can go with this guy. He's like, hey.
Sizing up.
Hendrik there too. Char and Elvira invisible, so we don't know where they are at the moment. And we have the Knights of Fortune.
Traitors.
They're also in with us. How do you know they're traitors?
I'm calling it now.
And this guy is
Oh, there's a sexy one.
Hal
Oh, there's a
Horn.
hot one.
Yeah, with the long hair.
Oh.
This one.
Yeah,
That's the one I was on
The
about.
one with the googly eye.
Alright.
What a beautiful eye you have.
So we have the commander there. Right. Okay. We are in the throne room,
That's not enough.
and
Don't
we've
worry,
seen
don't worry.
everything.
No.
There's enough people.
We've
So-
come here to murder you.
Do you say that?
Just invisible
right.
hand over his mouth.
Okay, yeah. So, so the king of the undead, his skin is bright red, and he has his tail wrapped around the horse's tail. And remember, the horse's tail is on fire, but it's not bothering him at all. He's got jet black hair, which is streaked back, and 2 large horns coming out of it. 2 large wings stand tall above his head. Several tattoos spiral down his arms. They're quite not Celtic spirals, but they're more demonic-looking symbols. He's got thick scale mail of a dark scale with silver along the joints, and his queen next to him, as I described earlier. So Gambian commands the night horse and the nightmare horse, which he's riding, to strut towards you. So this is as he comes down to about here, and looks at the ranks, because behind you is just over 100 high elves still on the bridge, waiting to come in, ready to attack. He speaks in common. Who leads? There's a silence amongst everyone until the Lord Commander comes forward. And he says, "I, Lord Commander Talahum, your name is not relevant. I am Cambion, Lord of the Undead. State your business." And the Lord Commander says, "We're here to put an end to you in the name of the High King." Gambion just smirks.
I don't blame him.
And he says, "All of you to stop all of us."
Okay, I'm at least 10 people, so...
Okay.
He's got a point.
We're strong boys.
Yeah, I know. I'm just like,
Point.
sorry we bothered you, sir.
And that is where I'm gonna let you guys discuss really what you would like to. How are you gonna interrupt the commander? Because this is a big thing.
Right.
I'm allowing out of character conversation here for you to decide what the f you're gonna do.
Right.
Well,
Yeah,
we're gonna be able to
yeah,
take
good point. What the are we gonna do, guys?
Because you've got several options. You
Right.
can either chat to Gambion, you can attack,
Yeah.
you can say that you don't like the High King, you can question the commander, you can do whatever you want, yeah, right? Remember the numbers that are against you
Yeah, yeah.
on either side.
Okay.
Right? Because there's over 250 of the undead, and there's about 100 of the high elves there. Right? But can you get out of there without combat?
Question is,
Yes.
that floor,
Mhm.
is it naturally there, or is it manufactured?
You can do an investigation check for me.
Investigate, right.
Yeah. Good question.
While I think of an answer.
No, I've got the answer, but I almost blurted it out, but no, you need to investigate.
I can tell.
You got the teleportation amulet.
Yeah, no, I was just looking at that.
No.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to answer that
I'm the
question.
beholder, bye!
You don't. It was a crap roll, is it? Or?
It was 3.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
It's quite sturdy to you.
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
So you're like invisible, and you're going, and he's like,
So,
but they're talking anyway, so.
okay.
I'm gonna do an investigation as well. I'll try and redeem myself.
What are you going to investigate?
Same thing as Char. Like I can see, I can hear like the tapping, and I'm like,
Okay, yeah, go for it.
check for that.
Yeah.
There you go.
You're going to use thaumaturgy.
23.
23, right, okay, so you can. Okay, so you can tell now that this floor is solid lava, it's ex-lava flow, but to be this hard inside a volcano with real lava underneath is very unlikely, so you can tell that it's been frozen like this. So if you assume Cambion, when he took over the land, decided, I'm going to make this floor, so you start thinking in the back of your head, can he unmake the floor
Yeah.
as well? So
Right.
just something for you to think about.
Yeah, so
Okay.
Yeah.
So it is.
It might happen if
Natural.
we kill him. It might just.
Okay. Okay.
But-
Sort of natural. Yeah.
Sort of natural.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I think
It's
we
not
should
magic.
try and
We all look at him.
talk to him.
Yeah.
You'll fall
Um,
back.
Yeah.
You know, see where he's coming from, because he could have killed us all outright with not much effort. I mean, he's a demon, so it's not like he cares about loss of life, really, does he?
That's where he gets his kicks from, bringing hope and taking it away.
You don't know that.
But
He's a
then-
Don't judge a
demon.
demon.
But then-
Don't judge a demon by its
But
cover.
I
But then-
did.
I feel like
I
we should
judge
strike up
him.
a conversation, and then Elvira be ready with the teleportation device
Yeah.
if it
What,
goes
for
tits up.
Yeah, leave the
Yeah, we
other-
can go.
Although saying
Yeah,
Yeah,
we can
that,
sit out.
hang on,
It's up to
guys.
8 people
Yeah.
holding hands, and you can go.
Yeah.
So we can
But
take
we got to
whatever.
think about
What
where we want to
need-
go.
No, we
Who
got
we gonna
guys.
take?
Didn't do
And
that last
succeed
time.
on your
Let's just go
rolls.
back
We've
to
got
the
this.
last
Take-
people.
take
We've
the
got
sexy
this.
one.
But I'm
We'll
done.
Take the sexy
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
That one.
Yeah, we'll treat you.
That's the one I was
That's the
on
sexy
about.
one. We'll take him.
Right. Okay. And
Yeah.
so as you're like investigating this, and you're all quietly talking to each other about what you're going to be doing, you kind of hear the conversation between Cambion and the Lord Commander, and he says, "So all of your army follow the High King, do they?" Do you respond to that?
I follow no king.
But-
He might understand.
He does understand. And he just smirks like, "So not all of you like the High King."
It's not a case about liking.
It's
It's
like-
a case of not following.
It's a case of wanting to murder him in his sleep, you know? I mean,
It's a case of.
Do you whisper that under your breath?
do I whisper it under my breath?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
go on.
you do.
Go on, you just
He's
hear a
got
little...
very good hearing, even though you're invisible. He can hear that, and he just laughs to himself. It's like, "I've got a story to tell you."
Story time.
Right, everybody sit around in a circle. Have you got your milk and cookies?
Over half a century ago, a dark, evil being came to our land. She was weak and needed to replenish her strength.
I was turning around at story
All
time.
right. Needed to replenish her strength to continue a battle against an ancient foe. Humans were the easiest to corrupt, and so she planted the seeds into the mind of a young prince. He soon became king and sought to take over the realm. She found this amusing as it fed her strength, but she wished for a more direct influence and lured this king to her domain. There she slaughtered his guards and consumed him fully. So in short, if your small minds can't comprehend, I am telling you that High King Taslos is no longer. He is now the vessel of Tiamat. She consumed his soul, leaving a small hole for her to fill. Kill the king, and you will weaken her. For you need to weaken her. She's the only known 5-headed dragon in existence. Or we can dance the dance, and I will reanimate your bodies to help me destroy the king.
I quite like
I think.
living.
Yeah.
I knew there was something up with him.
Well, does anyone want to actually do a deception check?
I don't think he's deceiving us, to be honest.
I think he's a truckful for that.
Demon! He's not
He's
deceiving
the only
us
one
at
I've
all!
trusted so far.
I'm going to kind of very gently whisper in Elvira's ear, actually, and say... and
Voices.
say something along the lines of, I believe what he says. I've seen the king with my own eyes, and he is not himself.
Are you...
So she's whispered on that side.
Eslap!
I'm like, oh God, forgive me.
And Cambion comes up and he goes and casts Dispel magic, and you were visible.
Hello.
Both of us, or just him?
Just him, because you've got a cloak on.
Why?
That's fine.
There'd like to be more of us around, you know.
Are you like cropped up on the sexy one?
I'm actually on the table there. I'm sat there thinking it's the safest place. It's not.
But there is a ripple in your in your cloak, so he knows that you are behind Elvira. So he knows where you are.
Whispering.
Okay. So
Yeah.
he is waiting your response. The commander is going, "No, we are blah 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 blah," and he's just going, but you're not really listening to him. You're thinking, you're talking amongst yourselves really. And don't forget, you've got these 5 here as well.
Interesting dilemma, isn't it?
Are we gonna escape without fighting, or are we gonna start some?
Why don't we kill the Knights of Fortune?
We'll kill the elven army. That's the lesser one.
That's the lesser army.
Why?
We'll be
It's
fine. That's
easier.
only a
Oh,
army,
rather
so-
than the Knights of Fortune.
We don't need
And
to
them.
kill them.
Oh,
though.
screw the Knights of Fortune.
Yeah.
We don't
But-
need to kill anyone.
They
We
need
could
to
just
give
be
me
like,
gold.
bye.
We made a wager that we would kill more. Yeah, so we need our money.
Can you?
I
Can
know
you
I sound a
send?
bit mine then.
Well, if we kill them, we can take
Can you
all
send
of
a
them,
psychic message and just be like,
Should
we'll
use
help you
another
kill
spell
Tiamat,
and-
I know
You
I
have
was
to pay
thinking
us.
that.
but you have to pay us.
Yeah.
Well, my question is what would happen after they've killed it? What do they want out of him
Oh, that's a good
being
question.
killed?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, he's like the other end of the map. Like
Yeah.
she's there, he's
Yeah.
there. Why does he care about
Like
the
that.
king?
Yeah.
It's not like he cares about.
So who's are you going to ask there?
You're invisible though, aren't you?
No.
Don't mean to ask.
Well,
So you've
bit predator.
come over to
really,
Hendrik
you know.
now, and you've whispered into Hendrik. Are you going to speak to
Yeah.
the?
Okay. Yeah. So.
Are you
It's
going to come
like-
forward, or are you going to stay there?
Oh yeah.
Looking above shoulders. Excuse me, sir. Over here.
I'm just like navigating.
Yeah. I'll come forward and
It's
say.
right next to.
Yeah.
Push him out of the way.
You know, what would you hope to gain from the death of the king?
The death of the king will weaken Tiamat. Weaken Tiamat, you kill Tiamat. One of my ancient foes.
So what happens after you've achieved that goal?
It's just-
I'll go
Just
back
say-
Send the materials
and
back.
fight other. No, you've said that.
Oh.
I knew that said it. So he looks straight past Hendrik's shoulder, straight at where you are, but you're obviously invisible.
Mhm.
And he says, "I'll go and fight my other foes then.
And which of those are they?
I have many across many realms.
What of the people?
The people are of no use to me. They will die eventually, and I will have them in my army."
Fair enough.
They're corpses anyway. I mean,
Yeah, exactly.
he
No
doesn't-
loss, really, is
But he
it?
doesn't sound like he's happy just being king of his own little world. He sounds like he wanted all. I can appreciate that. We can be friends.
Are you sure you want that snake queen? I can do you better, boo.
Oh, thanks. If this was Call of Cthulhu, you'd all be insane by the
Oh,
the
yeah,
stuff
yeah,
that's in-
Yeah. Yeah. Bouncing off the
Okay,
walls.
so anything else?
Oh, that's a tricky one.
I mean,
I don't think we
King Dead
should
most
fight
of
him
all.
Right.
personally.
I don't
I
think
mean,
we should
killing-
fight anyone. I think we should.
Hal
just
Horn
leave.
from the.
But we
But-
should ask what we if
Hang
we're going
on,
to get anything out of
Investigator's
it,
got
right?
something to say.
If we get rid of the
Not
king.
if I throw a rock at him.
Hal Horn comes up and he puts his hand on your shoulder, and he says, "You gonna fight against the king? Our
Yeah,
true
that's-
king? Then you fight against me."
Okay.
And as you look at him, right, a little bit of magic comes across his eye. It's like a red glow comes in his eye and goes back.
Okay. I'll say. You heard what he said. The king is not himself. Can't follow a demon.
So I'm gonna follow this team.
Gamion's like,
Actually, we're not following him, we're just doing him a favour.
okay, so
When we get big enough, I will get him.
we are you going to do, guys?
Oh, this is impossible.
I still think
Hang
we
on.
should just hightail it out. Don't even bother fighting. Just be
Can
like,
we just
Right.
ask him if we get anything for this?
Surely the high elves though they're gonna fight him
You borrowed from
regardless.
the wars,
because
aren't
they
you?
are.
I want a new
they're
bow.
fine.
Yeah.
With
To be able,
us.
to be able to get out,
Yeah.
and without using the teleportation, you're going to have to go through 100.
I'll have you know,
and they will attack you on the way.
I'll
out,
have you
pretty
know,
much.
I am a siege monster.
What we could do is we could all crowd in Char's tiny hut. Keep chucking things out. See what happens when people get tired. After 8 hours, we'll hightail it out of here, Amulet style.
Oh yeah,
We got the mission.
we've done it.
It's a mission that we're not getting rewarded for.
Yeah, I don't think there is a reward. I don't think that.
Depends what
Yeah,
happens.
We're not.
But do we
the whole
benefit
thing
from
is
it?
none of us like the king anyway. Now knowing he's possessed by some
I
sort
don't
of
even
five-headed
know
dragon.
any kings, apart from a dwarven one. I
Well,
don't
we
care.
despise him, and
You
I.
despise him, yeah.
We do.
There's a reason
He
for
tried to
it.
kill us.
I'm sure there was a reason.
We didn't know that.
It was just that voice. And there was no body to it. It was just, there was a little voice. Trying to kill us.
Well, that's true, he did try to kill you too.
Right.
Backstory.
Well,
Well, stop it, Mr.
Coming
Almighty
later.
Undead Demon Man. Just going and killing the king himself. What have they got
you
against
can ask
him?
that question. That's a
Ask
good
him.
question.
Yeah, ask him.
Yes. Oi.
Is that there?
Oi, mate.
Are you saying that from the back, or are you going to come
Oi.
forward?
That's not a barrow stuff.
Put your hand.
Oh, of course you.
Are you gonna
You're
strut
do it from the
up?
back. You're gonna be like
Do you want me
strutting
to
forward
lift
like
you up?
Yeah, go on, I
Hold
want to
her
go
up.
that far.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll
You.
So you're up here at the moment.
Oh, that is
Of
brilliant.
course, you have to
Yeah,
look
so you're
down
up
on
there.
them, don't you?
Naturally.
Alright, so you say that, and he says, like, well, I am massing an army, aren't I? You're here to stop me from going to kill the king, aren't you not? Are you not?
Are we?
Yeah, right,
that was
go
a
back
question. Oh, yeah.
to episode 1.
It's been a while.
should I put you back down, or do you want to stay there?
Fine, thanks,
I
Darren.
refuse to stop the king from dying.
Stop the king from dying.
I'm confused.
What?
That king.
That came out wrong.
Change your tone.
I love the king. No, I don't want anything to get in the way of like him killing the king because I think that's the best chance.
That's what you're saying.
If we were, hypothetically, to assist you, what benefit do we gain? It's a great risk to ourselves.
Before Cambion can respond to that,
You really shouldn't
Halorn.
discuss this in front of the people.
his hand is
I'm
on
up high,
your
I'm
shoulder, and you say that, and he goes, traitors, and throws you back. Do you want to do a
Oh.
strength check?
Oh,
to see
okay.
whether you,
Sorry, Hendrik.
I should kick off anyway. In the
It's
hut.
alright, I'll just-
In the hut.
Ding, 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 ding.
Can you fit in the hut?
23.
23?
Yeah.
Okay, so you literally just go back one.
Form like Stonehenge around the hut.
Right, okay, and Cambion just, his grin's gone really big.
Oh, it's kicking off
And
anyway,
he just
guys.
Kicking off.
In the
Yeah.
he-
hut. In the hut.
claps
Yeah.
his hand. The drawbridge that is outside, where the vast majority of the elf army falls.
Brilliant.
And
I knew it was
most of
gonna
the elf army have disintegrated into the lava.
Oh,
Absolute classic.
This door slams shut. This guy here has closed the doors and he's standing there now. So, all us in here
Right.
is you, this army, the Knights of Fortune, which Arya is quite next to, and Char,
Mhm.
and
being a
the Lord's
perv.
Commander.
So just that's all.
Yeah.
Not
Did-
many.
yeah,
then.
no.
Did he actually throw Hendrik? And
No,
like-
he grabbed him, but
Ah.
Hendrik succeeded with his strength check.
Oh, okay.
So he just literally
I
just
was gonna
skidded
say, because
back
if
a
he
little
did
bit.
actually, I was gonna throw a boulder at
Right,
him.
okay, we are now in
Rattling his
um,
hand.
battle situation. I'm going to check the time. Ooh.
I looked down.
Right,
Oh, no,
we've
you're
only
you're
got
invisible.
just over 5 minutes left, so we're not going to get into battle. But I will describe the Knights of Fortune to you. because you don't really know.
One sexy one.
There's a hot one.
Hot one.
My
A
job.
hot one. A blue one.
A big blue one.
Right, okay, so
Sexy.
you remember Halhorn? He's not wearing any. He's a barbarian, human barbarian, massive muscles and everything. Not wearing any armor, and he's got his massive battle axe with numerous daggers around his waist. So now,
Is he the one that had the glint of magic in his eye?
yep.
Yeah.
This little guy here is Banak, and he's a male fighter. He looks human, but there's something not right. When he opens his mouth, there's a little bit of a...
It's a little bit racist. Just saying, as a half elf, it might look like an elf, but something not right.
But his teeth, his canines are pointed, very protruding. So make of it what you will. He's wearing he's wearing a chainmail jacket,
Excuse my friend.
but it's not done up. It's just
Oh, a little bit
Yeah.
lip.
yeah.
Hubba hubba. Tell it
That's
hubba.
not.
He's slim and
that's the
tall.
hot
He has yellow eyes and spiky
I
white
want all that
hair.
against him.
Oh, he
And,
sounds cool. I like him.
Yeah,
Can
no,
I
he's
meet this
cool.
guy? Yeah.
he has drawn a rapier, and that's all you can see with him. Now, the one that you were calling the sexy one
It's not
Oh,
sexy
no.
at all.
is
A
Milana,
slug
who's
monster.
a female wood elf cleric, and she's very slim and tall. She's got like a pale blue hair with ice blue eyes. Now her robe is a blue robe, and that's just slightly open as well.
Oh my
And
god!
she's
They all
got
like to be a bit
stockings and everything as well on show. She's
Double
very-
sexy.
yeah.
Baron's not happy.
Different type of dungeon
No,
party.
she
I
hasn't. She hasn't got any weapons equipped or anything. Now, this little guy here, his name is
Little guy.
his name is Dort. He is a male dwarf paladin. He's got plate mail on. He's got red hair, and metal is braided into his beard. So it's like he's got an armoured beard. He wants to protect that beard. He's got a great sword and a hand axe. And then finally, you have this lady here, who
Hello,
is
lady.
Zin. She is a female human warlock, and she's quite short and curvy, with black pigtails and brown eyes. She's wearing leather armour, but also a leather robe on top of it.
Did you say who the sexy elf was?
Yeah, that was Milana.
Yeah, but did you say a class?
Cleric,
Cleric.
yeah, cleric.
Okay.
She's got a trident in her hand. So yeah, that is
Right.
the Knights of Fortune. And you also got the commander, and the commander
He's
jumps in and he goes
he's
full
good.
cambion straight away. So they're in combat here. So they go out of the way.
They have a little
He's
cuddle.
gonna
And-
lose.
Right, okay.
And apart from this guy who's standing in the doorway,
Uh-huh.
the rest of the monsters,
They just stand back.
they
and
stand back
view.
and watch, including the beholder.
He's good at watching.
He's
From
very
all angles.
Very good.
All the time.
Okay, so he's
Look at
there,
how chickens.
and they're gonna stay there. They're gonna come back here. Pretty much, a lot of the skeletons, everything, they go off into the doorways and just bugger off, pretty much. So yeah, that is that, and that's where we're gonna end that episode. And next time it's gonna be immense.
She's going down.
Yeah, thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that jazz. If you've got a bag of jewels, keep hold of them.
Don't ever let him go.
But yeah, thanks very much for watching, guys, and see you in 2 weeks. Bye.
See ya.